It's pretty good against Terran with medevac drops if you're able to. It's kind of similar for PvZ. It's just the problem is the third base. It's so far away. Medevac drops are good. Mutalisks are really good.
Yeah.
Something I've seen actually quite a bit in PvZ. I don't know if you've seen this a lot, but two-base swarm host pushes, which HyuN actually likes to do. You basically just make two base. You kind of just get two base saturation. You go into an infestation pit very quickly. Of course, you need a quicker layer, and just make swarm hosts a lot of queens. Get a Nidus network, of course, a Nidus swarm right outside the natural, the Protoss, and you can really, really camp that area and be very annoying against the Protoss. And of course, you can make spines and spores if they go for Void Rays, and eventually you can actually just transition into Vipers. So it's like it's like a Protoss player. You're countering it. You're making Colossus. You're making Void Rays. You're making the right units, but the Zerg player is just basically countering you before you can even get the units on the map. So that's definitely going to be a possibility in this game, but let's go ahead and introduce the player. I will take Creator because I know you want to take HyuN. You've been doing it the past 3 games. So we have our Protoss player in the upper left position of Bel'Shir Vestige. It is going to be our blue Protoss, of course, Creator Prime.
Yeah, and spawning in the bottom right position is going to be our red Zerg player for Quantic Gaming, finally taking a map there on Ohana. Not the map you'd think the Zerg player would take the map on, but it is going to be HyuN. And, look at this setup here. Creator getting that, he put the pylon on top of the natural ramp. And he looks like he's going to go Nexus first, but what do you think about this pylon positioning so early on from him?
I like it. I like it quite a bit. If, this map is it has a really, really large choke area to be walling off. That's a lot of buildings you need to make as a Protoss. You need a gateway, pylon, forge, possibly another building. I think it's like 4 buildings to wall it off. Maybe even 5 actually. 4 or 5. I'm pretty sure it's 4 though.
Reminds me of Akalon with how much space there is to cover.
Yeah, this seems like it's so much bigger though for some reason.
Yeah, he's probably going to put a second pylon at the end of that. But now he's starting the gateway and the forge, and HyuN is going to go for a fast third hatchery. Creator actually doesn't manage to get the block off on either hatchery, it really looks like. So he is going to be able to get away with a pretty greedy opening here, going for the hatchery first. So I think this is going to be HyuN in his most comfortable position because Creator can't really punish this since he did choose to open Nexus first. And I think that's a good way to abuse what Creator's been doing by HyuN, saying, okay, well, you're not going to cannon rush me, so I'm just going to play about as economical as you are. But cannon now coming in for Creator. What do you think? What's Creator's play on this map then? He knows it's a 3-hatch build. Is he going to try to be really greedy, or are we going to see another timing attack?
I would say timing attack, just because of the things we pointed out about the third base being very, very far away. Now, if Creator feels confident in PvZ, he'll probably be taking a third, maybe go for an Immortal Expand, possibly just wait until he has Colossus to expand, to be able to easily deal with any kind of incoming Ling Hydra pressure, if that's going to be the choice here from HyuN. But the third base is completed for our Quantic player. We're seeing that Queen being very slow, making its way towards the third base to go ahead and get that inject going. But Creator Prime, I'm going to predict either another robotics facility or a Stargate, and that's pretty obvious. That's kind of what Protoss players do basically in every PvZ. But Stargate would probably be a better option, but it's going to be a robotics facility. So maybe another Immortal Sentry, man.
Yeah, and he's getting that Stalker out to deny that scouting, I think, as fast as he can, too. He skipped the Zealot, it looks like. So this is, I mean, I guess this is as much as we expected on this map, but now he's taking one of the gas geysers in his natural. He hasn't taken the 4th one just yet, but I don't know. Do you think this is going to, is he going to go for an economic play? I mean, he could go for the Colossi and try to take the third base. We've even seen some players just get Sentries and Immortals and then just take a third base, and they only move up to like 4 gateways instead of 7. So he definitely doesn't have to go with an all-in build, but now he's taking the 4th gas. What do you think is... Oh, man, this is just... It's so close to tell.
This is actually a very similar timing to the game on Cloud Kingdom. He grabbed the gases at the natural around the same time. He's going for the robotics facility. He's adding on 2 additional gateways. If he's going to be going for the 2-base Immortal Sentry push, he would be adding about 3 or 4 gateways a little bit after the 7-minute mark. And he's now making an Observer. and he's been focusing on sentries, and he's getting +1. So at this point, it looks very much like an Immortal Sentry all-in. He can take a third, but there's already an Overlord in position at the third base if he was to do that. So it's going to come down to how many more gateways he's going to get on the map. He's one game away, honestly, Nathanius. If you're one game away and you're pretty confident in your Immortal Sentry, you're probably going to do that build. But he might just make me look like a complete fool and take a third base. But there's more gateways, and that's exactly what that pylon was for, Nathanius.
Hey, he's won 2 games with Immortal Sentry all-ins in this series so far. You know, if it ain't broke, why fix it? So second Immortal is about to finish. Third Immortal now being chrono boosted out as well. And HyuN, he's doing exactly what he's done basically every game. He's going for the Hydralisk Den. He's going to have his Zergling speed in time this time, though, so not quite a repeat of Daybreak, but possibly of Cloud Kingdom. I think there's actually a bit more surface area to work with once Creator tries to push up the ramp, or you know, there's just such a long walking distance across the map that he might be able to bait more force fields out before Creator can actually reach him. So, I gotta say though, I really want him to get Hydralisk range.
Yes. That's very, very important.
There it is.
Nice, man. Good call. And something else I want to talk about is HyuN actually is doing something that I wish he would have done on Cloud Kingdom. He has some lings on the map. He has 30 Zerglings. He's going to be able to scout for any kind of incoming push, which is actually on its way. There's the Warp Prism soon to finish here from Creator Prime, but he's going to give himself, oh my god, almost getting a counterattack with the lings. The Sentry's going to be there, but it looks like Creator's actually fully walled off. And if a Protoss is walled off like this and doesn't have a third base, it is a 2-base all-in. And here comes the Warp Prism. He sees it. He sees his Zealots being warped in. Creator Prime going for what he's been doing, or what he's been, I guess, very, very good at with this Immortal Sentry push. But HyuN is going to make some Hydralisk, making lings, and you mentioned that the missile attacks is in the production tab. So it's going to come down to positioning again. And this third area is pretty good for HyuN, or excuse me, for Creator. So we'll see what HyuN can actually do against this.
Yeah, I feel like HyuN just wants to wait for him at the top of this ramp. If he moves down into that little valley, he's just going to get force fielded to death. But he has a couple Spine Crawlers here as well. And now he's moving in. Guardian Shield activated. The Zerglings are getting a really good surface area. But see, so many more of these Hydras can attack from behind. Some of them still missing a lot of this damage. He's bringing more Spine Crawlers up. The Hydras have a good arc. The Immortals, though, are doing a lot of damage here. And the Spines, he's actually out of range of the ones that were rooted. But he's going to be able to shove Creator back for now. And he's killed almost all of the sentries, only 3 of them left, about 3 or 4 force fields remaining. So with these Spine Crawlers, I think HyuN, he might actually hold this.
Yeah, HyuN really is, he's playing this so much better than he did in the previous games. And knowing that this is the map choice of Creator, he could have assumed. He's like, okay, you're probably going to be going for a 2-base all-in, but here comes the push again. Creator, not enough sentries. Hydras against Immortals, Stalkers with not many sentries, and more reinforcements coming in. I mean, how many Hydras? 15 Hydras against an Immortal and 2 Stalkers? That's it, dude. GG.
Damn.
HyuN is coming back